Today is October 18th. It's 1342. Quarter to 2 in the afternoon. We have an election in about 17 days. And I'm still trying to figure out why anybody would vote for Joe Biden. It's not hard to see that this man has major cognitive decline. Anybody that's dealt with anybody, family members with Alzheimer's or dementia, or come on. To quote the man himself, "Come on, man. You know the thing. Why would you vote for this guy?" I'm out in the countryside right now. I think I'm in Grundy County. I'm heading north out of Ottawa, Illinois, home of the famous Lincoln-Douglas debates. And so I'm seeing Joe Biden signs, and when you get out of Cook County, Illinois, you start to see some Trump signs. People are civil out here where they don't destroy your property because you're voting for Trump. People respect your property rights and respect, basically. The closer you get to Cook County, nobody respects your property rights. They will, if you had a Trump sticker on your car, they would torch your car. What does that tell you about people who vote for Joe Biden? That's the point I want to make about this. Joe Biden wants you to think that he's this wonderful guy who's been in the Senate for 47 years, which he was. There is plenty of video of him saying just about anything you can think of about not being able to understand people from India at 7-Elevens, to black people they're not black if you don't vote for him. He has said plenty of crazy things, and why anybody that was black would vote for him, I don't know. Outside of you're just part of the corporate mindset that you'll vote for whoever just because you vote Democrat. You're black, you vote for Democrat your whole life, you're going to vote for Democrat your whole life, even though for 47 years they've really done nothing for you. You're still in the same crappy neighborhoods you used to be in with the same crappy crime and the same situations you've been in for 47 years, but you still keep voting for the same people. That's, that's in some definitions, that's a definition of insanity. And the whole thing, the only thing you say about Trump is he's racist. Let me tell you something. I'm more racist than Donald Trump. And I got a black wife. Seriously. But this is the thing that bothers me about Joe Biden more than anything else. And I've mentioned this before. You don't see his son's dirty dealings and him not, and he gets on and claims that he's never done it. He knows nothing about it. You don't know your son's dealings. You got grown sons and you don't know their business dealings. And if you had a son, everybody's got a family member that's a screw up. If you had a son that was a screw up, couldn't keep a job, had a drug problem, all of a sudden he's raking in millions and millions of dollars from companies where he doesn't have any expertise in, would you be raising your eyebrows? I know I would. If you don't see corruption all over this man, what kind of eyes do you have? I've been listening to people say horrible things about Donald Trump for 4 years, and I have yet to see any evidence thereof. You don't think that Congress wouldn't have found anything against this man? Oh, he's a failed businessman. He filed bankruptcy a couple times. You know what? Have you ever filed a corporate bankruptcy? I'm not talking about personal bankruptcy. I'm filing corporate bankruptcy. I have. You know what? If you can come out on top of that, if you can come out on the other side of corporate bankruptcy with lots of money, more power to you, man. If you can come out away from if you can find an attorney that knows how to be creative with the tax laws and finds a way of doing it without breaking the law, I want his number. I have nothing but admiration for people who figure out how to use the loopholes of the law to come out on top of it. I have nothing but admiration for it. If you don't admire people that can do that, then you're a fool. And you have been foolish, but not being able to find people like that. You know, the truth is, they often say it's not what you know, it's who you know. If I knew billionaires, and I have had the privilege of being friends with a multimillionaire who has now since passed away. I have had the privilege. Not many people can say that they've had that privilege, but I was friends with a multimillionaire, and I love the guy dearly. And boy, knowing what I know now, if I could have picked that guy's brain and had his accountants and this, that, and the other thing, if I could have done it at the time, he passed away by the time I needed that kind of help. I would have done it. I would have done it. So I have nothing but admiration for Trump if he manages to pull up bankruptcies a couple times and comes out ahead, corporate bankruptcies. He's never filed personal bankruptcy. There's a big difference. There's a big difference. And I love all the ignorance about Donald Trump. You know nothing about the man. You hate him so much. You never investigated anything about him, but you hate him so much. And you label him this, that, and the other thing. So this is what I'm going to say, because so many of you don't like to be judged. Oh, you have no right to judge me. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. You're sitting around judging this man, and you want to be judged by the same standard. So let's judge the same standard. Let's judge Joe Biden. 47 years in public service in front of a camera, and he says all kinds of crazy things that you can look and go back to. He's sitting there now, he doesn't want to talk about packing the court. But in the past, plenty of video where he's saying packing the court is wrong. But I promise you, he's going to pack the court. He's a typical politician that's going to go wherever the winds blow. So he's going to go do the opposite of what he said. Oh, I'm against fracking. I'm all against fracking. 3 months ago, against fracking. Now he's not. But trust me. Once he gets elected, he's going to be against fracking, and he's going to, and all those jobs that the energy sector brings in from fracking are going to be gone. And then don't get me going on this stuff with him touching the children. That's all over. Groping them. You know, it's called grooming. If you don't know what that is, I don't know what to tell you. You look it up. Joe Biden, if I'm a racist because I voted for Trump, you're a pedophile because you vote for Biden. Because that's the standard you have judged me on. And I know there's a couple of you watching that because you judged me on that. Then you're a pedophile. Joe Biden, this past week, is on camera saying he thinks an 8-year-old has the right to decide what gender they are. 8 years old. 8 years old. What is it? An 8-year-old can barely pick out their clothes and what to wear. Any of you who have children, are you okay with that? Are you okay with an 8-year-old deciding what gender they're going to be? I mean, I want you to seriously consider it. So do you think an 8-year-old boy should have his testicles cut off if he decides that's what he wants? Have his penis modified to be a fake vagina? Because you know what the truth is, it's never a real vagina. You can have all the plastic surgery you want to make it look like one, but that doesn't mean it is one. 8 years old. You want to do it when you're 19, 20, have at it. But you know what? There's no going back once you decide to chop that little piece off of your flesh when you're a man. There's no going back. You know, you can give yourself a set of boobs, and you can take the stuff out, and then have the skin sewed up to make yourself flat, or you can do that. I don't know how many times. I'm not a plastic surgeon, but taking a balloon in and out is relatively easy. You know, removing the vascular tissue that makes a penis it doesn't work that way. It's a very complex organ. That Joe Biden thinks that's okay. An 8-year-old should be able to decide it. You're going to vote for somebody like that? You're going to vote for somebody like that? Any of you who claim to belong to Christ, if you think that man represents a Christian norm, You should be ashamed of yourself. Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. And you can live with yourself? I don't believe the narratives that anybody spit out about Donald Trump, because Donald Trump was in the public eye for about 50 years. And there's plenty of videos of him saying what he's doing now. I just find it so funny that he is racist now, but he wasn't back then. Why? Why? What makes him racist now? Because he wanted to put up a wall on the southern border. There should have been a wall put there after the Alamo. We're crying out loud. The southern border was always a place of lawlessness where criminals would come and go. People were going to escape the law. Look, there's people trying to get in from, look, every country. Look, man. Come on, man. You know the thing. There has always been people trying to come across that border illegally, regardless of where they're from, because they're looking for a better life. But you can't just come across a country's borders and decide you're just going to settle in. It puts a burden on every natural-born citizen and every naturalized citizen in the nation. It puts a tax burden on our fellow countrymen. Our countrymen, your countrymen are more important than the rest of the world's citizens. I'm sorry. You don't pay taxes to the rest of the world. We don't have a global government yet. You don't pay taxes to China. You don't pay taxes to Germany. You don't pay taxes to Istanbul, Turkey. Okay, you pay taxes to the United States government. You don't need your tax dollars being... Look, these people waste our tax dollars as it is. We don't need to give them more excuses to waste tax dollars. That's what made Trump racist. And what made Trump racist too is having a travel ban from countries that have problems with terrorism. Not all countries have problems with terrorism. They call it the Muslim ban. Well, you know what? They don't, I don't know who's on that list. I think probably Pakistan might be. But not all Muslim countries are banned from the United States because there's not a radical terrorist agenda coming from them. I mean, what is the matter with you? What is the matter with you liberal thinking people? Where has your brain gone? Logic is not part of your mindset. Logic is not something that resides in your character. You find me one thing that I've heard somebody call Trump a pedophile. Really? Where's the evidence? Show me the evidence of Trump being a pedophile. Don't just spit it out of your ass. I want the evidence. Now, I wouldn't personally believe that about Joe Biden if I did not see the videos of him stroking the heads of children, groping them, and the kids are trying to get away, and he pulls them a little closer. Those videos are all over YouTube unless they're scrubbed now. You don't think, as a parent or a grandparent, you tell me if you would find that acceptable. My favorite one is where he is doing that to a little girl, and the mother pats Joe Biden on the chest like that, and you could see that you could see her kind of whisper in his ear. You know, she's probably saying, "Okay, that's enough." Do they all know this? What's the big secret? You don't think Washington's got secrets about all these people that the public doesn't know? Because if the public knew about this, we would all march on Washington like the Frankenstein villagers. You're going to vote for Joe Biden. That's a great. So you don't have any respect for me because I voted for Trump. And you expect me to have respect. You want me to have respect for you because you vote for Biden. It's just pathetic. It really is pathetic. You have every right to vote for who you choose to vote. But when you decide that you're going to judge people on the standard that you set for voting for Trump, then anybody has the right to throw that standard right back on you. What kind of show me the evidence of Trump Show me the evidence of his wrongdoing. Show me the evidence. And his taxes. You want his taxes. You have no right to see his taxes any more than I have a right to see your taxes, or you have the right to see mine. Just because he's an elected official does not give you the right to see his taxes. There is no law written that you have the right to see a person's taxes, regardless of what they do for a living, as it should be. If they willingly want to release their taxes, then by all means, willingly release them. But the thing you need to ask yourself, okay, Joe Biden's released his taxes. Kamala Harris has released her taxes. You've made that much money being a politician for 47 years. It was Harry Truman said that if you get rich in politics, you're a crook. Harry Truman was the president after FDR. After FDR died in 1945. So here we are, 70-something years later. Is that a truth? Is that a truth that you can hold to? Probably. Yeah. So Joe Biden, you vote for him. You go right ahead. 17 days, and you know what? I have a hard time not rejoicing in the suffering of who I will call my enemies. I really don't want to rejoice in the suffering of my enemies. It's not something I want to do. But if you think Joe Biden is a man of integrity, you don't know how to watch video clips from 40 years ago. If you think Joe Biden is really a man of his word, you don't know how to watch videos from 47 years ago. You can say all you want about Trump, but go and look at the videos that he has made from countless interviews going right back to the early 80s. They're out there. You can find them. They're not hard to see. And it's not like he's saying anything different than he is today. Nothing different. The man has not changed. So you get what you pay for with that man, if not more. And I don't know, personally, he's convinced me that he cares for Americans. That he does put Americans first. The whole NAFTA thing was enough for me. And most of you have had your head up your asses about NAFTA. You really have, because it never affected the industry that you were in, because you were always probably white-collar workers. But anybody that was a blue-collar worker in a manufacturing industry knows what NAFTA did. And it's a blue-collar worker that got Trump elected. And blue-collar workers are supposed to be the ones that support Democrats. But the Democrats have sold your asses out for the past 50 years. And so that's my political rant for 17 minutes. I look at these Biden signs and it just cracks me up. I sit there and think, are you out of your mind? What kind of special crazy are you? Really? This is what makes Trump voters so much different from Biden supporters. The majority of us do not put Trump's name on the car. We don't put his name on our front lawn because we don't want to deal with the bullshit, because Biden supporters will create nothing but violence against us. And that really is the truth. Till next time.